Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
PD Beats here from Popternative, speaking to Fabrizio, Mason, and Craig about Blackest Night, which is part of Welcome to the Blumhouse, coming on Amazon Prime. Thank you for your time, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Craig, I mean, we'll start with you. I mean, it's one of those things where horror is becoming bigger and bigger. So what was it like kind of being part of this project for Welcome to the Blumhouse, where the landscape's so huge right now?
I mean, yeah, Blumhouse, if you look at their collateral in the business, man, doesn't really take much consideration, to be a part of a project like that or the one to associate yourself with Blumhouse. But the experience, it was beautiful, man. You got to, dive into a new world, let the magic of the environment take you once again, thrust into those new social environments, finding new branches of yourself to extend out and also to attract in. And, it was more so one of those things where you find out, through every project who you are, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Or more of who you are.
Absolutely. Fabrizio, what was your familiarity and interest with horror before signing on to this project?
Well, obviously, I've been just growing up around, movie theaters, just releases for horror films, right? I've always really liked the vampire genre. As a kid, in like kindergarten into first grade, I went like 2 years just pretending to be a vampire at school, but I wouldn't say it directly. I wanted people to assume, like, is he maybe a vampire? Like, I'd pop the collar on my shirt and like sometimes hide my teeth in there. Just be very chill about it. But yeah, I always really liked the vampire genre. The horror genre I always found fascinating, especially when it's done right. I think it's the psychology of like, hey, that could happen. Maybe I think that's what always gets us at the end of the night, right? But yeah, I was familiar with it. I'd never done this genre before.
Absolutely. Mason, what was your kind of familiarity? And like I said, a vampire film that's dropping on Amazon, part of Welcome to the Blumhouse. What was that whole experience like, just working on a vampire film?
It was crazy. Every day on set was something new. And I know it sounds like a cliche, but it literally was. We'd go from shooting scenes that were hilarious to scenes where we got people like running, chasing after us through our house. Scenes where we're literally fighting off vampires physically. So just the fact that it kept things moving, it kept you engaged. You had to be focused and ready to work every day, but also ready to come prepared to play, have fun, because things were changing around us a lot as well. So it was a good time.
Were you all very interested in vampires after working on this movie? Was there an obsession that happened with one of you? Did that happen at all?
I think there's always an obsession, with with sci-fi. So, being a part of a project with a subject matter. Well, one of the subjects is vampires and other things that happen, in nocturnal modes. You give yourself to it long enough, and it's kind of hard to let that idea just die, fly out the window after it's over, after it's said and done.
Yeah, I think I was fascinated with the idea of like the vampires being alive for so long. I don't think any movies ever really touched on that. I mean, it's like, yeah, you see them and they're like, I'm here to suck your blood, blah, blah, blah. But this time it's like, this was very closely tied to like them experiencing things in our world and seeing, terrible stuff in this world and humanity. And that's what's fascinated me.
Absolutely. Gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for taking some time, and everyone's going to be able to see it. Blackest Night, part of Welcome to the Blumhouse on Amazon Prime. Thank you so much for your time.
Hey, my guy.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.